What's going on, y'all? Today we got 2013 LeBron versus 1991 Jordan, man. Who's better? We're going to watch this, and I want y'all to let me know who's better at the end of the video in the comment section, man. I'm going to remind y'all, so don't worry. The last Michael Jordan reaction will be at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. Turn on post notifications. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to the channel. And today, once again, we have another player comparison
Read about
video.
Uncut Hoops.
This time,
links in the description,
what
man.
I believe are the best version of Michael Jordan and LeBron James. That being Michael Jordan in 1981 and LeBron James in 2013. And I find this comparison very interesting because LeBron in 2013, he was at his athletic peak, his peak on defense, his all-around game was an all-time high, and Jordan 91 was very similar. His defense was peaking, he was a great athlete, a great scorer, and his all-around game was virtually flawless. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to say three things. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. And if you haven't liked this video, I would appreciate it very much if you did. And the last thing I want to say is that comparing both these players, in the end, you have to say one is better than the other. And me saying that one player is better than the other, that means no disrespect to the other player. Because at the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Facts,
and I'm just comparing two basketball players.
Nah, facts. That's what we gotta understand at the end of the day. That's a fact, Uncut. Uncut, I like that. That's a fact. Because at the end of the day, it is just basketball, man. It's not the end of the. It's not the end of the world.
First off,
just because somebody said something about your favorite basketball player, man.
I'm gonna start with 2013 LeBron. This was his third year in Miami, and he was really starting to find his groove as a great all-around player. This year, he averaged 27, 8, and 7 on an impressive 57, 41, and 75 splits. And the efficiency for this version of LeBron was absolutely off the charts, shooting near 57% from the field and his career high of 40.6% from three. And this Heat team was absolutely dominant, only losing 16 games, having the best record in the East and the best record in the NBA. And if you do remember, they actually won 27 straight games at one point, the third longest streak in NBA history. And because of that great year, LeBron James, he was first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense, and he was the MVP, only one vote shy of being unanimous. And the one thing that will always impress me is that this version of LeBron James was a menace on the defensive end, and he finished second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, only behind Marc Gasol. Now, for a quick summary,
Yo, they violated, man. You got lucky. Y'all lucky when you get that DPOY.
And 77 splits. And this Heat team would make their way to the NBA Finals, where once again LeBron James would perform very well, averaging 25, 10, and 7 on 45, 35, and 79 splits. And my
that's pretty good.
Or how I performed
pretty good. It's just that free throw be killing me, bro.
In Game 6, he had 32 points, 11 assists, and 10 boards. And he scored the last 16 points of that game for the Heat that led to the Ray Allen three-pointer. And in Game 7, it does get lost. LeBron James had 37 points, 12 boards, and 4 assists on 52, 50, and 100 splits. So LeBron definitely earned that title, and he capped off an amazing season with an amazing game performance. Now, moving on to Jordan and his 1991 season and how he performed. During the regular season, he averaged 31, 6, and 6 with nearly 3 steals a game.
We gotta react to the rest of the finals games.
And 85 splits. And this Bulls team with MJ, they would win 61 games.
You know he ain't lost,
best
so.
record in the NBA and the best record.
We know he ain't lose, my fault.
And because of MJ's great play, as well as the Bulls' great record, he would win the MVP.
Yeah, I think it's
and he would finish
grammar.
7th in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. He would win the scoring title, and he would be first team All-NBA as well as first team All-Defense. Now, when it came to the playoffs, Jordan's play would actually get better, as he would average 30.1 points per game, 8.4 assists, 6.4 boards, on 2.4 steals and 1.4 blocks, with 52, 39, and 85 splits. So Jordan's play in the playoffs actually got better compared to how he was in the regular season. That's something you cannot say about 2013 LeBron James. And when you look at how Jordan played in the finals, he once again elevated his play, averaging 31, 11, 6 with 2.8 steals and 1.4 blocks on 55, 50, and 84 splits. So Jordan,
in the
as
finals,
the season
showing 50%.
he actually got better the deeper they went in the playoffs. Something that is very, very impressive.
We react to the rest of them games, yeah.
From the 91 finals, Jordan averaged 11.4 assists, the most ever for a non-point guard or a player not named Magic Johnson. So all in all, a great year for Michael Jordan. So now with all that out of the way, I think we can compare both these players, 91 Jordan versus 2013 LeBron. And the first thing I want to start out with is the scoring ability. Both these players were great scorers in their own right, but the thing that gives Jordan the edge, in my opinion, is that he consistently got better the deeper he went into the playoffs, and he always averaged over 30 points per game. LeBron, he was around that 25 point per game mark, and his efficiency consistently went down from the regular season to the playoffs and to the NBA Finals. Something you can't say about Jordan is that he got worse the deeper he went. Jordan's efficiency actually went up the deeper he went in the playoffs. So that is something very, very important to know. Now, when it comes to playmaking, I want to look to the NBA playoffs, as Jordan averaged 8.4 assists, and in the finals, he averaged 11 a game. Now, compare it to LeBron, who only averaged 6.6 in the playoffs and 7.0 in the finals. So Jordan averaged more assists than a prime LeBron James. And I find that very interesting because this year in 91, Jordan actually took a back seat and let Scottie Pippen handle a lot of the ball handling and the facilitating. So Jordan, taking a step back from passing the ball, actually still averaged more assists than LeBron James. And LeBron in Miami was also playing in a team system for head coach Eric Spoelstra. So that definitely contributed to LeBron not having high assist numbers. But when it comes to this specific year, Michael Jordan was the better passer as well as the better playmaker when comparing him to 2013 LeBron James. Now, one big category you have to talk about is who was the better defender. And I think it's a very interesting discussion. Both these players are first team all defense, and LeBron was second in defense player voting, and Jordan was seventh. But when comparing both these players on defense, LeBron in 2013 was an absolute dynamo. For 38 minutes a game, he was flying up and down the court. He could really guard 1 through 4, and if it was a small ball 5, he could definitely handle them. Jordan on defense this year was not.
I don't like the idea that he can handle a real 5,
guarding 4,
like an actual dominant 5.
Fives in the 90s. So when it comes to defensive versatility, LeBron James takes the cake every single day. But when it comes to who is the better defender, you have to look at a variety of things. Jordan this year was a better shot blocker. When it came to steals and getting the passing lanes, he was also better than LeBron James. I think Jordan's defensive IQ was better than LeBron's. If you watch the film, Jordan was very good at baiting defenders and then throwing bad passes, and he would
that's a fact.
Easy dunks. And when it
he was ahead of his time, bro.
Both these players are A+ on-ball defenders, but off-ball defenders, I think Jordan, with that extra added IQ, I think he was a better defender. LeBron later on in his career, he would play
speaking a lot of facts this video, man.
But 2013 LeBron was a very great individual defender. I'm not saying he was a bad team defender, but Jordan, in my eyes, was
Jordan was
a
just
better team defender.
He was everywhere. He was everywhere.
So in my eyes, the 4 most important things for a basketball player are his scoring ability, his passing ability, his defense, and the last thing was how he performs in the clutch. And when looking to how both these players performed in the clutch, I would look to the biggest stage, the NBA Finals. And both these players put up some very staggering numbers. LeBron, in the last 5 minutes of a game, within 5 points, averaged 5 points per game on 38% shooting, 20% from 3, and a staggering 100% from the line. Jordan also averaged 5 points per game on 50% shooting and 100% free throw shooting, and he did not attempt a three-pointer. So right there, Jordan, I would say, has the edge because of efficiency, but LeBron shooting 38% in the clutch is actually not as bad as you would think. It's much harder to score late in games, and shooting around 40% in the clutch is basically on average, so props to LeBron James for doing that. Also, one thing I want to know,
averaging ain't GOAT like LeBron. You got to, you know what I'm saying?
13 playoffs, as he
averaging
GOAT like,
35
points per game, 10 boards and 4 assists on 50-50 and 96 splits. So for the big games, LeBron, he was showing up night in and night out and bringing his best for those Game 7s.
You know?
So for Jordan,
Game 7s it get different. You know that.
But in the elimination games, he was absolutely phenomenal. You can look at his game log. The worst elimination game he had was against the Pistons, where he had 29, 8, and 8. But that game was a blowout, and he sat out the majority of the fourth quarter. Besides that, he was giving you 30 points per game on a nightly basis, with 7 assists, as well as 5 steals. And his Bulls team had a perfect 4-0 record in those elimination games. So both these players were extremely clutch. Both of them came through at the big-time moments. And I think LeBron James, he goes underrated in the clutch. As like I said earlier in the video, he was phenomenal in Game 7 of the Finals, as well as Game 6 in the fourth quarter going down the stretch. But if I had to give a player the edge in the quarter,
Ah, my
I would
God,
still go
that's
with
so
Jordan over
different.
LeBron James. I think how Jordan played in the finals is a tier above LeBron, and I think some LeBron fans argue that he was better in Game 7, but Jordan, he did not allow his team to get to a Game 7, and in my opinion, that's just as clutch and just as impressive as playing good in a Game 7. So after all that, I'm pretty sure you guys want to know the $1,000,000 question: who was better, 91 Jordan or 2013 LeBron James? And my final verdict is that 91 Jordan is just flat out better than 2013 LeBron. And once again, it's no disrespect to LeBron James, but just 91 Jordan, his overall game, the only slight flaw he even had was the three-point shot. And when it came to the playoffs, when it mattered most, he was shooting 38%
hitting that
three.
motherfucker.
So the question has to be asked: did 91 Jordan have a single flaw? Because in my eyes, I cannot find one. Looking at the stats, looking at how he performed in the big-time moments, I cannot find a single flaw with 91 Jordan. He was the league's best scorer. He was an elite defender, a great off-ball player, great on-ball player, a good leader, a good team player. He took a step back this year and let Pippen control more of the offense, so he was definitely unselfish in that respect. And I think the one big thing that gives 91 Jordan the edge is that he got progressively better the further his team went in the playoffs. Whereas LeBron, he still was great, but you could see a gradual decline in his production as well as his efficiency the further they went in the playoffs. So that is really all to say in this video. I hope I laid out my case and made a strong, compelling argument. I think both these players.
Let me know who y'all think is better in these seasons, man. Let me know, man. But that's the end of this one, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. The last reactions on your screen right now. Turn on post notifications. And I'm out of here, man. Word.